welcome to another battle report here. We are hosting a mini in-house tournament, kind of a casual competitive event, just to kind of get everyone out, get some new players involved in the scene here. And what that means for you is we have 3 battle reports coming up. So not filming it as kind of like as a tournament, but it's going to be 3 separate battle reports for you. So we have 4 tables set up. There's going to be 8 of us competing here. I'm using my same list throughout the whole thing. So I'm just filming one intro because it's going to be a little loud in here instead of filming at the start of each clip. So if you hear this a few times, that means you've watched all of my battle reports, and that means I'm giving you a big thank you. So I'm running 2,000 points of Leviathan. In my HQ slot here, it's a battalion. We've got a Hive Tyrant. Finally got all the weapons and everything magnetized, so made my Reaper, or the larger Bonesword, and use the other smaller ones as my standard Bonesword. And the Lash whip, obviously, and him. Adrenal Glands. He has Paroxysm, Onslaught, and also paid a CP for Hive Predator to give him, I think it's Adaptive Physiology. You have to bear with me here, so I'm still trying to remember all the new names, or the names for everything. So a couple more of these and we'll be set. Then we've got the Neurothrope, who is the Warlord. He has Synaptic Tendrils, and then for powers he has Onslaught and Catalyst. Then rounding out the HQ slot, we have a Tyranid Prime with Lash with Bonesword. He does have a Venomcannon. That is one thing that I guess I said I got all my weapons updated. That's one last one. I'm gonna either get it magnetized or do something with the front of that to swap his weapons out. But he does have a Venomcannon because it's free. So we have that for him as well. I just really want to take advantage of the exploding 6s for my few shooting units, so why not? Gonna give it a try. And then into my troops slot, we have 2 units of 10 gargoyles, so 10 there. Then we have a 5-man unit of warriors. They all have death spitters. I do have my death spitters done up. I just got to get them fixed up so I can attach there. And then they have bone swords as well. So, and then these ones over here, the ones without the venom cannons, we're also using those to help identify. They have flesh hooks and adrenal glands, whereas the other ones don't. And there's the last 10 gargoyles. Then into the elite slot, we have Deathleaper and 3 Venomthropes, Zoanthropes, who have Catalyst as their power, because they may not be in range the first turn, so may as well have some redundancy there for Catalyst. Then we have a Maleceptor with Neuroparasite, Psychic Scream. Into the fast attack slot, we have the Parasite of Mortrex. So I'm very excited to run this fella. I have the Relic for the Gestation Sack, so I'm starting with 9 CP in total, having spent 1 for a Relic, 1 for the extra Warlord trait. Oh, sorry, there's actually 2 Warlord traits, because he also has Alien Cunning, so that is our 9 CP. So gonna take advantage of him being obsec, throw some rippers down. Should be fun. Really excited to give him a go. Then we have the Exocrime, who has Dermic Symbiosis, Tyrannifex with Voracious Ammunition. And then into our flyer, we've got the good old Harpy, who does have Venomcannons now magnetized, so this Hive Crone is now a Harpy. So I'm gonna probably reposition the magnets, kind of stick out. I like the look of the hair when it's got the guns forward, so I really like the styling of that. And I also really like the crone head and just body overall with the little details on it compared to the Harpy. So gonna go with that, and yeah, so there we are. That's 2,000 points of Tyranids. So we're gonna jump into my opponent's list for each round. I'm just taking a photo of their army, and I'm just gonna quickly recap everything, because again, it's probably gonna get pretty loud in here. Not so much that you won't be able to hear me for the battle reports, but just talking through armies and everything, we just want to make sure you can hear and figure out everything that's going on. So let's jump into this game. Here we are, everyone. A classic battle to end Basement Rumble here. So the Salamanders have battled their way on the other side of the bracket, going 2-0, and the same with the Tyranids here. So if you're watching this video before the other ones, slight spoiler, but we are facing down, so really excited. The Salamanders have adjusted their list from previous games. It has been optimized a bit, as you've seen in the list, and I mentioned a few changes that have gone up, so really excited for this one. They've been performing well, so we'll see how they can do against the Tyranid list I've been running with some success here. So we were playing Data-Scry Salvage in the third and final round of the Basement Rumble here, a little tournament, get our community going and growing. So there is 6 objectives on the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in his zone there. And the action with this is for every objective you hold over there, you can score up to 3 points. I am rocking Engage on all fronts, Assassinate, and I went with R&D, as my list is pretty well built, with the Salamanders going Oath, Investigate Signals, being that it's important to kind of get into the middle with that, and then you went Assassinate, yeah, Assassinate as well. So there we have it. So again, really excited for this one. Big shout out to our patrons. I know it's the previous videos, so you can watch them. These are a little bit quicker because we're trying to respect the game time here, under 3 hours for this event. So we won't be catching the Patronic roll, but as you see in the other games, you can check that out. So big thank you, Brian and Teos. But that is it. So, and also big shout out to Rozari providing some objective markers here. We have Zenian coming up from them to fill up the last spot for our tournament. He brought them up. So a huge shout out to my fellow content creators. Love the team there and all they do for 40K. So be sure to check them out. Video in the link, video in the link to the description. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we're gonna roll off here actually. And speaking of Rozari, I got a Rozari die there. It hasn't done me wrong yet. So we're gonna find out who's going first in this battle report. Should be an amazing one. I hope it's a nice tight game. So let's go. A 1. There it is, the Rozari dice. Yikes. Get yourself some of those. So big deal here. All right, Tyranids, first swing. Let's see what we can do as we jump into this battle report. All right, so movement is done for the Tyranids. So starting up over here, my Gargoyles jump forward. R&D this zone complete. Ripper Swarms spawned out from the Parasite right there within 3, grabbing me that objective. Warriors moving up as well with the Exocrine shuffling over, ready to fire at a Dreadnought. My Hive Tyrant, I'm actually going to just keep them there. I'm going to play the waiting game. The Venomthropes moved over this way just to get their -1 to hit bubble going off. These Gargs, I'm keeping them in place because I'm going to R&D with them next turn. Warriors moved over this way. They got the reroll hit rolls of 1 from the Hive Tyrant, so we'll do some shooting down there. He stops my reroll the wound roll. And got enough of an advance with Deathleaper to stay in cover, just measuring down there. So he's toe in cover, and then he's holding an objective, just barely. And then the Hive Crone flew over, staying in the air, dropping some mines on the edge of the objective, and landing there, getting ready to fire. So that's my movement. Let's come back after the Psychic and Shoot. Folks, that's it for turn 1 for the Tyranids. So killed off the tank with the Rupture Cannon.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, buddy. And then killed off the Dreadnought.
Daddy.
Yeah? All right, so, and then the Dreadnought was taken out around here by the Exocrine and Warriors firing in. So the Exocrine dropping down to 1 wound thanks to some Venerable rolls, and they just barely finished him off. And I killed 2 Blade Guard? 3? Or 2, yes. 2 of them, and I wounded 1 down to 1 wound, and then 2 Intercessors taken. So, scoring Engage for... just 2, yeah, my Harpy couldn't make it over banking that way. So 2 for Engage, and nothing else as of yet. So an R&D done for this section over here. All right, Salamanders, turn 1, let's go. All right, everyone, so movement is done. Oh, go ahead.
I forgot to roll for my healer.
Oh, you're healing, yes. Yep. No, yeah, you don't, it's free. Because you're a superhero. So what's going on here is a man returned. The one I took down, he stood back up. But I got one of them at least. And then healing up as well in there. So these guys move forward. The bombs are going to go off. We'll do those in a second. Everyone else is just staying on the objectives. Getting buffed there. So those guys got their rerolls and whatnot from the Chapter Master. And then the huge wedge coming up the middle there as well. So that's it for movement. Let's jump into the Psychic and Shooting. Oh, and the Librarian is in the building there, along with the Aggressors who moved up. It's kind of hard to see them down there. But we'll come back after the Psychic and Shooting on the Salamanders end of it. All right, so Shooting is done for the Salamanders. So almost took the Harpy out, came right down to the wire on a 4-up invul to survive against a potential Lascan taking him out. So he's alive before, he's limping. Then down this way, the Bolters coming in clutch, taking out the Warriors down to 3, so really good volley of fire coming in there. The Aggressors, unfortunately, a little lackluster there. I made some insane Feel No Pain from Catalyst. Spent 3 CP, and I ended up making, I think, 7 of 8 Feel No Pain rolls. Just madness on the Maleceptor. But we got some charges about to come down, so we'll come back, see how it looks for the Salamanders after they come in. Hopefully dice this guy up, get some control back into the game. And the Litany, yes, the Litany went off so we can come in. So turn done. Again, just my dice. So yeah, I got a ton of wounds on him. I made 4 out of 5 4-up rolls, and then proceeded to make some feel no pain rolls, and then he attacked back and killed something. So Tyranids aren't overpowered, the green lads are. We're going to say that. But again, this isn't over yet. Salamander's still positioning quite well, keeping their characters nice and hidden, and with that healer in there, bringing back some key units to bring them back on the table. So for secondaries, you scored 3 for Oaths, holding the middle and not failing morale. And you have Assassinate, and what was your other one? It was the Signal. So you got to clear that Maleceptor out of there, and then start scanning away. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 2. So over here, Deathleaper has moved forward on Tyranids turn 2, so getting all our primaries, and then I don't have this objective, I'm going to give it up. So doing my scan, I'll get 3 because I have 3 controlled. I wasn't OBSEC with Deathleaper, so I couldn't hold that. However, I hold the 3 there for the strategic scan for this mission. It is the Scouring. I actually don't think I even mentioned that. Then the Data-Scry Salvage, yeah, that's what it is. So he's going to get ready to go around there. The Gargoyles R&Ding this zone, so 2 of them done. Warriors moving ahead to take on the Intercessors. The Harpy flew forward, banked over there, dropped a mine on them, and killed 1 guy. The Tyrant has jumped out, getting ready to leap down onto his prey there. And then the Rupture effects moving out, getting ready to fire down at the aggressors, along with the Exocrine as well. And then the Warriors moving up. I hold this objective, so the Gargoyle is left with sincere troops. And we're going to collapse right in here. And the Tyranid Prime Imperative is on. So we'll come back after Psychic and Shoot. Alright, so shooting is done. The Harpy fired in, took the Devastators down to 1 guy with 1 wound. The Tyrannofex fired in at these guys and killed off, I think, the aggressors we're talking about that were in there. He killed off, I think, 3 in total. That was combined fire of the Tyrannofex and the Exocrine. And then the Warriors fired in, doing a bit more chip damage as well. So that is all my shooting. And the Maleceptor finished off the Blade Guard, and then that was it for the Mortals coming through. So not too bad. And then we're going to move into... Oh, and these Warriors fired in. Didn't do a thing to those guys. Made all their saves. So we're going to move into the charges to going down. My Gargoyle is going to charge the aggressors and their Paroxysm so they can't Overwatch. And the Warriors are going to go in there. And Deathleaper is going to take on those spikes. We haven't forgot there's spikes over here. So, alright, we'll come back after. So that is the end of the Tyranid turn here. So Deathleaper took out a bike and a quarter of 1, and then took 4 wounds in return. So he got punched back kind of hard. The Warriors are absolutely going to work. They spent the last of the CP on the Salamander side. The Transhuman, it was worth it because he took out half of the wound rolls in there. So definitely worth it. Killed off 4 of them, and then another one ran to morale. These guys are just tying up the aggressors. 2 killed, and I didn't do any damage in return. And the Devastator up there has ran. So that's it. So Tyranid swarming in here, and we're going to move into Salamanders. Turn 2. And then 3 for engage as well for points and everything. And then I did my little scan, data intercept, or whatever it's called. And that's it. So no characters killed yet either, actually, for me. So still points to protect on the table. So we'll come back after turn 2 Salamanders. Alright, so movement is done for the Salamanders on turn 2. Over this way, the Eradicators are right there. So they've come in, they have a bead on the Parasite, and even the Exocrine can't reach them if he comes forward. I mean, the Warriors can come back and maybe make a charge at them if I want to go that route, but return fire is minimal from the Exocrine, and he wants to kill him, rack some points on the board for assassination because I exposed him and left him out there. And then everyone else kind of staying where they are, just being tied up in combat. And then that is it. So let's jump into Psychic and Shooting. So shooting is done for the Salamanders. So dropping the Harpy down to 2 wounds, making some good saves there. And then unfortunately the damage roll against the Parasite, not enough. He's down to 2, but the Chaplain is ready to charge in and take care of him. And then that's pretty much it. So we're going to go into some fights and see how the table looks after. All right, so that is the end of the turn for the Salamanders. So knocking the Gargoyle is down to 4. Parasite has fallen, so racking up some points there on Assassinate. Deathleaper also some points on the board, but taking down the bikes to just 1 guy with 2 wounds, so chipping away at him. And then the Warriors handedly cleared off by the captain. So big move there, clear them all off by himself, and then grabbing the objective there as well. So let's move into Tyranids, turn 3. Everyone, so that is the end of turn 3 for the Tyranids. So just kind of redid everything. For movement, everything just kind of stayed still more or less and shuffled a bit. Took out the aggressors and the apothecary between the Maleceptor doing his psychic stuff, and the Harpy landed, fired and killed the apothecary since he was exposed. Hive Tyrant landed, went in and dropped the captain down to 2 wounds. That was just from the mortals from the Reaper, and he passed all of his involves. So good stuff for him. And then over there, Deathleaper finished off these guys, so they are all taken care of. And then over this way, finished off the apothecary. I wounded with all my hits from the Exocrine, and then he failed every single involve. He's gone. So that's it for Tyranid's turn. Let's jump into Salamander's turn. We're going to see if they can rack up some points here and just kind of even the score a little bit. And we'll come back after turn 3, Salamanders. Folks, so that's the end of Salamander's turn. We're just going to call it there because into Tyranid turn 4, I'd end up tabling him. The captain was taken out. The Tyrant dropped down to 3 wounds from the Intercessors charging and trying to score some more assassinate points. And then these guys tried to fire in and kill off some warriors, but so a poor hit rule landed there, and then the Tyranids will be taking that guy out. So, what's that? Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah. So I got that from the last one. Yeah, no worries. So that's it, everyone. So. Salamander's put up quite a fight here. We were talking about the game. He killed the Parasite, Harpy, full warrior unit, Gargoyles. My Tyrant's down to 3 wounds. Deathleaper's down to 3 wounds. And unfortunately, the one he really wanted to kill and would have been the difference maker would have been the Maleceptor. So I really think turn 1 influenced heavily this game. Again, I know the story of many of the reports lately is that Tyranids are very powerful, and they indeed are. But I do think in this case, in this particular matchup, getting first turn, there's impossible for me to hide everything. He could have got positioned a little bit and did the damage that needs to be done. So all in all, great battle. It's always great facing off against the Salamanders, especially when we get a game like this where it looks grim, and definitely the scales got tipped on the bottom end of turn 2. But on a whole, there was definitely a fighting chance, so it's awesome to see that. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Great getting this content out, getting the community out here, and growing in our local area. We've got 8 players here in the basement competing and playing, so wonderful stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much to our patrons, Brian and Teos. Again, as I mentioned in previous battle reports, didn't capture the Patronic roles and things like that. Just trying to respect everyone's time and not take too long when it comes to filming. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next battle report. Heading down to, actually this probably won't be on here, but check out Rasweech. You'll catch me on there playing one additional game in the stream turn as a sponsorship match. Thank you.